Hey gang, welcome to another edition of The Gift of Gab. Today we are going to be talking about editing. So a lot of folks, especially when you're just starting out and you're new to VoiceOver, are really confused by the editing process. What am I supposed to do? What am I not supposed to do? And how do I create a clean file for delivery for my auditions and my jobs? So what I want to talk about is the absolute necessity for simplicity. Less is more when it comes to editing. Biggest mistake I see is new folks who over-edit. They try to eliminate every space, every breath, every little pause inside of their audition. And what you're left with is this very unnatural, very chopped up sounding performance. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose points in that audition and probably not book the job, because the client's going to think that that's the sort of quality they're going to get from you. So what should you be doing? Well, I always explain editing, and this is regardless of software. Doesn't matter if you're using Adobe Audition, if you're using Pro Tools, if you are using Audacity even, any of the editing programs, they all generally operate the same way. And there's 2 primary functions that voiceover actors are going to use in their editing. One is delete, and one is your insert silence or mute feature. That's pretty much it. So let's take a look at deleting. So with delete, it's really straightforward. You have a space or a gap, typically for a pickup or a mistake, an error that you need to eliminate inside of the performance. And what you want to do is simply highlight that piece of audio and use your delete key or your shortcut to eliminate it. What's going to happen is it's going to take the 2 halves of that audio that surround the highlighted section. You have A, B, and C. A is what comes before the highlight, B is the highlight, and C is everything after the highlighted area. And what it's going to do when you hit delete is take section A and C and smack them together. It's going to merge them and eliminate the space. We use the delete feature constantly. That's how you're going to get rid of a lot of the things that you don't want in your audio. That being said, don't delete to the point where things are butting up against each other and are really, really quick and really, really choppy. Instead, you want to leave a little bit of breathing room, just a little bit of space in between, okay? Second function, insert silence. And with some programs, this is called mute. They're the same exact feature, the same function. All you have to do is find out in your program what it's labeled at, what it's called. Now, this is the one by far that I think most beginners don't even know about. They don't know that it's an option or that it exists. Let's say I have a breath inside of a recording, which is constant and common. We have breaths all over our recordings. What I want to do, instead of deleting that breath, instead of removing the space that it's in completely, I simply want to get rid of the breath, but I want to retain the space, because the space is a natural pause. The space in which we breathe is that natural little moment of speech pattern that's necessary for the audio to sound normal. So in this case, when we highlight a breath or we highlight a section that we want to reduce in size or space, we are simply going to, by using that command, whether it be, again, insert silence or mute, we're going to eliminate the audio that was in that space, but retain the space itself, okay? So we're effectively just muting the sound. There won't be any. Another option, because sometimes when you mute your sound, it can be a little bit jarring. It can be a little bit too much of nothingness in those gaps. What you can also do is simply reduce the decibel level. Really take the decibels on a breath and drop them way, 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 way down to just barely audible. So again, that natural pause, that nice little space, that breathing room, no pun intended, is still there, but we don't have this big obnoxious breath that microphones are so prone to picking up inside of the recording. Those are ultimately the tools you need to master. Honestly, that's it. If you master those 2 techniques, you will be able to deliver pretty solid audio consistently. Are there other tricks? Of course. Can I cover them in a couple of minutes in a video? No, not really. So this is just a brief little reminder of what you should be doing and the functions you should be looking for inside of your audio software. For more information on these topics, you can check out my books. Until next time, take care.